Hi guys, it's Suzanne Wachtel, Living Your Best Life. Welcome back. Have you ever had a clusterfuck? Do you know what that means? I'm being dramatic, but what that means to me is when there's so much going on at one time and you have so much on your plate at one time, whether it's work-related, family-related, financially related, health-related, kid-related, friend-related, when everything is kind of hitting a problem at the same time. What do? Well, today I'd like this podcast to really give you a few tools when that happens to you. Just recently, it hit me. I've had a clusterfuck. I've had issues with my son in California. I've had issues with my dog, as I mentioned in the other podcast, needing, medical care. I've had all the kids together at one time. My grandkids, 17, 12, and 4 here for the summer, which is wonderful. But, sometimes at the different ages, it's an adjustment. You have to get used to it. This one has this carpal, that one has that carpal. This one likes ribs, that one hates ribs. It's trying to kind of get into a rhythm where you can make everyone kind of flow into a happy, systematic way. Financial bills, all of a sudden the taxes are due 15 grand later. All of a sudden, the dog needs a payment. All of a sudden, the kids need new clothes. All of a sudden, the car lease is up. All of a sudden, so all I'm trying to say is most of us are wired to handle things when they happen one at a time in a strategic manner. But that isn't always the case. Sometimes, like in my case recently, it happened all at once. And as smart as I am, as much therapy as I've had, as many tools as I have in my belt, I have to be honest, for a few days, and my husband got sick, and then the baby got sick, and then it rained for 3 days, we're stuck. Like it just went on and on. And when I kept saying to myself, oh my God, what the hell else can go wrong? I say plenty could go wrong. Thank God. You have to flip it. So what helps me a lot to manage my emotions and to help regulate my emotions is when a lot of chaos is going on in my life, a lot of triggers, a lot of unexpected things, crises, I would say. I have tons of tools. I have breath work. So if I'm going through that kind of stuff, I will make sure my ass gets to Kundalini, the breath workshop, and the meditation at least minimum twice a week. That helps me to calm down. That helps me to stay real and regulated and calm. The second thing I try to do is some self-care. I do not like to put myself with people, friends that are toxic, not even toxic, that just are like anxious and talk a lot and ask a lot of questions. Like when I'm going through stuff, I personally need quiet. I need to be alone. I need to go for a ride. I need to take a walk. Like what I did last week when the shit hit the fan and my husband, I thought he was having a heart attack, and the kid had a fever 104, and my daughter was away for a few days. It was like, and the kids were here and I wanted to entertain them. So you know what I did? I just said, come on guys, the mango tree across the street, they're thrilled for us to come collect mangoes. We took our bags, we went over there, we collected probably 50 mangoes to give away as presents. And that was so relaxing. Sitting with my kids, my grandchildren, and watching them fish. You just stop thinking about your problems and what's going to happen, because that's never helpful. What really helps is to just say, you know what? Today's a hard day, but it's only temporary and it will pass. And when you don't get scared and frantic, the truth is, you go into faith and you go into hope instead of like catastrophizing. And I've been known to have catastrophic thinking, but I work on it. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? How about good things are going to happen? Let's look at it that way. Maybe things will be better than ever. Maybe things will be amazing. Maybe life will improve. For my kids in California, maybe it'll be great. For my grandson, he's getting better. It's just a virus. And my husband did not have a heart attack. And thank God it was just probably eating too much pizza. He had a bad stomach ache. And the weather passed and it got warm. And life is going on. And you know what? There's always hope. But when you're in that day and all the shit is hitting the fan, that is the day to really pull out those tools. Go on YouTube, listen to positive affirmations. Everything's going to be good. I am. Do some meditation, hope, faith, love, and just knowing things always work out. I tell myself things always work out for me. And I always land on my feet. And even when it seems so hard and nothing can go right, you know what? I think of myself as I have nothing right now that is permanent. I don't have, thank God, right now, a disease. I don't have right now someone in my immediate family that is critically ill. I don't have right now anything that can't be fixed. The only thing that can't really be fixed in life is death, because it's so permanent. And thank God, nobody I'm dealing with at the moment is dying or dead. So, you're having a financial issue, it can change. You're having a relationship issue, it can change. You're having a fighting with a friend issue or, not getting along, it can change. Your office, you need to move, you'll find a better place, it can change. So anything happening in most of our lives, we have to have the faith and the hope and the vision to attract the positive into our life. So my feeling is, don't lose your faith. Don't lose your hope. Always know that in the middle of a crisis and a shit show, tomorrow will be a better day. I think about the people that were like in the concentration camps. I think about the people that's countries are being bombed. I think about the people that's homes burnt down. I think about the people that got into a car accident, and they're maimed for life, or the people that have lost a loved one to suicide or tragedy. And you know what? They too will get through it. It's just hard. So on that note, I want you to leave this podcast knowing that no matter what happens to you, if your attitude is positive and you stay in faith and you use the tools you've learned to stay alone, to stay around positive people, to self-soothe, get a massage, take a walk, go into nature, do something kind and lovely for yourself while you're going through a struggle, you'll get through it. You really will. Things might change a little, but you will get through it and land on your feet. And if that's what you imagine that will happen, that's what will happen. I was just explaining to a patient yesterday who's in a bit of a funk, feeling sorry for himself, that life is like two sides of the bridge. There's one negative side where everything is doom and gloom and shit and horrible and you're a victim and it's awful. But there's a bridge. It's only a little bridge to the other side where there's happiness and hope and joy. And it's a choice. So if you're in the funky place, you could stay there if you want to. It doesn't feel very good to me. I use every tool in my possible book to get on that freaking bridge and get to the other side where things are happy and positive and light and breezy, and looking forward to something, making a plan and looking forward to it, even if you can't do it or it's not for a while. So really nothing in life needs to ruin your life and take you down if you don't let it. So have a wonderful day, guys, and please keep up the good work of fighting through these hard times. And I will be honest, most of my patients, friends, and myself are going through a crazy time right now. Ever since the bombings, the wars, the stress, the politics, the fighting, it's a lot of chaos in the world, and you really must get back into that bubble where you put joy and happiness and peace and love and friendship and hope and faith and good food. Good food is important. Good food and smiling and positive thinking. So on that note, have sweet dreams, everyone. I'm going to go to bed too. And I hope to hear from you all soon. I'm going to be doing some podcasts this summer, live ones actually, with my granddaughter, Tyler. So have a beautiful night. Mwah. Namaste.